Jessica's body hit the kitchen floor with a heavy thud that echoed through the small apartment. 4-year-old Amelia dropped her coloring book, her crayons scattering across the worn carpet. "Mommy!" Her voice was small, uncertain. She scrambled to her feet, her little heart pounding. "Mommy, wake up!" Jessica lay motionless, her nurse scrubs still damp from the rain outside, her face pale against the faded linoleum. She'd worked 3 double shifts in a row at the hospital, barely eating, running on coffee and determination. Now her body had simply given up. Amelia's hands trembled as she shook her mother's shoulder. Nothing. Panic seized her chest, making it hard to breathe. She remembered what her mommy had taught her during their practice games. Call for help. Get the phone. Press the numbers. She ran to the couch where Jessica's phone lay charging. Her small fingers fumbled with the screen, tears already streaming down her cheeks. 911. That's what Mommy said. But the numbers were blurry through her tears, and her hands were shaking so badly. She pressed buttons, not sure if she got it right, and lifted the phone to her ear. "Hello. This is Park Jiho." The voice was deep, professional, slightly accented. "Please." Amelia sobbed into the phone. "Please help. My mommy won't wake up. She's on the floor and she won't wake up." Jiho had been reviewing quarterly reports in his downtown office, the city lights of Seoul twinkling beyond his floor-to-ceiling windows. He froze, his pen hovering over the paperwork. A child. Terrified child. "Okay, sweetheart, I'm going to help you," he said, his voice immediately softening. He was already grabbing his coat. "What's your name?" Amelia," she hiccuped. "My mommy is Jessica. She came home and then she just fell down." Jiho's mind raced. Jessica, the kind hospital receptionist who'd spent 30 minutes that morning helping his elderly father navigate the appointment system, speaking slowly in Korean and English, making sure he understood everything. She'd written her office number on a card, told him to call if his father needed anything. That number must have saved to his recent calls. "Amelia, you're being so brave. Can you tell me where you live?" Through broken sobs, Amelia recited her address, the one her mother made her memorize. Oak Street Apartments, number 12. The blue door. "I'm coming right now. Stay on the phone with me, okay? Don't hang up." Jiho was already in the elevator, keys in hand. His driver looked startled as he rushed past. "I'm driving myself. Emergency. Is my mommy going to die?" Amelia's voice cracked, and Jiho felt his heart clench. "No, sweetheart. We're going to help her. Is she breathing? Can you see her chest moving up and down?" Amelia crawled closer to her mother, watching carefully. "Yes, it's moving a little bit." "Good. That's very good. You're doing amazing, Amelia. I'm in my car now. I'll be there in 10 minutes. Those 10 minutes felt like hours. Jiho kept Amelia talking, asking about her favorite color, her toys, anything to keep her calm. She told him about her stuffed rabbit, Mr. Hoppy, and how her mommy read her stories every night, even when she was tired. "Does your door lock from the inside, Amelia?" "Yes, but mommy showed me how to open it. For emergencies." "This is an emergency. Can you unlock it for me so I can come help your mommy?" He heard rustling, the sound of little feet padding across the floor, the click of a lock. "Okay, it's open. Good girl. Lock it again until I get there. Okay? I'll knock 3 times. When Jiho's car screeched to a halt outside the Oak Street Apartments, he was out before the engine fully stopped. The building was modest, paint peeling on the exterior, a far cry from his penthouse across town. He took the stairs 2 at a time to the 2nd floor, found the blue door, and knocked 3 times. "It's me, Amelia. It's Jiho." The door cracked open, and a tiny face peered out, streaked with tears. The moment she saw him, she burst into fresh sobs. "Please help my mommy." Jiho entered the small apartment, immediately spotting Jessica on the kitchen floor. He knelt beside her, checking her pulse. Strong but rapid. Her skin was clammy. He grabbed a cushion from the couch, elevated her legs, then rushed to the kitchen for water and a damp cloth. "Amelia, Can you bring me that blanket? He pointed to the throw on the couch. She scrambled to get it, desperate to help. He placed the cool cloth on Jessica's forehead and dialed 911 on his own phone. While giving the dispatcher information, Jessica's eyelids began to flutter. Jessica? Can you hear me? Jiho's voice was gentle. Her eyes opened slowly, confused. The first thing she saw was Park Jiho, the CEO whose father she'd helped that morning, kneeling beside her in her kitchen. Amelia was tucked under his arm, tear-stained but safe. Mr. Park. Her voice was barely a whisper. What? How? Your daughter called me. The paramedics are coming. He helped her sit up slowly. When did you last eat? Jessica's face flushed with embarrassment. She tried to remember. Yesterday morning? Maybe? I don't. I had coffee. Just coffee. His tone was gentle but concerned. For how long? I had to cover extra shifts. Mrs. Chen's daughter was sick, and the hospital was short-staffed, and I couldn't say no because we need. She looked at Amelia, her voice breaking. Baby, I'm so sorry I scared you. Amelia launched herself into her mother's arms. I called for help like you taught me, Mommy. The paramedics arrived within minutes. Jiho watched as they checked Jessica's vitals, asked questions, recommended she go to the hospital for observation. He saw the fear flash across her face, the immediate calculation of costs, of missing work, of everything single mothers juggle. I'll take care of the bill, Jiho said quietly, stepping beside the stretcher. And I'm coming with you. Mr. Park, you don't have to. I want to. His eyes met hers, sincere. Please. At the hospital, Jessica was admitted for dehydration and exhaustion. Amelia refused to leave her side, so Jiho stayed too, keeping the little girl entertained with simple games and stories while Jessica rested. At some point, Amelia fell asleep in his arms, her head on his shoulder. When Jessica woke a few hours later, properly hydrated with an 4 in her arm, she saw them. Jiho sat in the uncomfortable hospital chair, Amelia curled against his chest, both sleeping peacefully. Something in her chest twisted. This man, this wealthy CEO, had dropped everything to help her daughter. To help her. Mr. Park, she whispered. His eyes opened immediately. He smiled softly, carefully adjusting Amelia so she wouldn't wake. How are you feeling? Better. Embarrassed. Grateful. I don't even know where to start. Start with taking care of yourself. He stood slowly, laying Amelia on the chair and covering her with his jacket. He moved closer to Jessica's bedside. The doctor said you've been running yourself into the ground. Tears pricked her eyes. I'm a single mom. I don't have a choice. Everyone has a choice, and everyone needs help sometimes. He paused. This morning you spent your break helping my father. You didn't have to do that. He was confused. It's my job. No, your job is checking people in. You went beyond that. You made him feel seen, respected. Do you know how rare that is? Jiho's voice was warm. Let me return the kindness. Before Jessica could protest, a nurse brought in the discharge papers. Jiho had already settled the bill. Jessica tried to argue, but he was immovable. Consider it paid forward, he said simply. The next morning, there was a knock on Jessica's apartment door. She opened it to find Jiho standing there with bags of groceries and a large stuffed rabbit. Mr. Hoppy needed a friend, he said, handing the rabbit to an ecstatic Amelia, who'd appeared behind her mother. Mr. Park, this is too much. It's Jiho, and it's groceries, basic things. Please. His expression was earnest. I won't sleep knowing you're not eating. Jessica wanted to refuse. She'd built her life on independence, on not needing anyone. But Amelia was already pulling Jiho inside, chattering about her coloring books, and Jessica was too tired to fight. He stayed for an hour, helping put groceries away, listening to Amelia's excited stories. When he left, Jessica found an envelope on the counter with enough money to cover a week's worth of missed work. She tried to call him to return it, but he didn't answer. His text came instead. Rest. Heal. Your daughter needs you healthy. If you're enjoying the story so far, Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Trust me, you won't want to miss what happens next. Drop a comment telling us what you think of Jiho's kindness. Now let's continue. Against her better judgment, Jessica found herself texting Jiho updates. Just small things. Amelia's funny observations. A thanks for the groceries. He always responded warm and genuine. Then the texts turned into calls. Then visits. Jiho started coming by 3 times a week. Always with something, a book for Amelia, fresh fruit, once an entire Korean dinner he'd cooked himself. He taught Amelia basic Korean words, played endless rounds of hide and seek, and made Jessica laugh in ways she'd forgotten she could. "Why are you doing this?" Jessica asked one evening after Amelia had gone to bed. They sat on her small balcony, the city humming below. "You barely know us." Jiho was quiet for a moment. "When I heard Amelia's voice on that phone, terrified and brave at the same time, something shifted in me. And when I got here and saw you on that floor, saw how hard you work, how much you sacrifice." He turned to look at her. "I couldn't just walk away. I didn't want to. We're from different worlds, Jiho. So, worlds can overlap. They do all the time." He reached over, gently taking her hand. "Jessica, I know you're scared, but I'm not going anywhere." 2 months passed. Jessica's best friend and neighbor, Monica, noticed everything. "Girl, that man is head over heels for you," Monica said one afternoon while watching Jiho and Amelia play in the park below. "And you're in love with him too. Don't even try to deny it." Jessica bit her lip. "It's complicated. Love usually is. But that man shows up for you. For Amelia. Every single day. That's not complicated. That's real." That weekend, Jiho invited them to a company dinner. Jessica hesitated but agreed. She wore her nicest dress, the one she saved for special occasions, and did Amelia's hair in careful braids. The restaurant was elegant, intimidating. Jiho's business associates were polite but distant. Jessica felt their assessing looks, the unspoken questions. She was holding her own until one of the executives, after a few drinks, leaned over. "So, Jessica, you work at the hospital?" His tone was patronizing. "That's nice. What do you do there?" "Cleaning?" "I'm a receptionist," Jessica said evenly, though her stomach churned. "Ah, well, every business needs support staff, I suppose." Jiho's hand tightened on his glass. He responded in rapid Korean, his voice sharp and cold. The executive's face went pale. "What did you say?" Jessica asked quietly. "I told him if he ever speaks to you like that again, he'll be looking for a new job." Jiho's eyes were hard. "I don't tolerate disrespect toward people I care about." But the damage was done. Jessica excused herself early, Amelia tired and fussy. Jiho followed them out. "Jessica, wait. I'm sorry. He's an idiot. It's not about him." She stopped on the sidewalk, rain beginning to fall. "It's about the fact that this is your world. Expensive restaurants, business deals, people who look at me and see the help. I can't fit into that, Jiho. I don't want you to fit into it. I want you to be exactly who you are." He stepped closer, rain soaking his expensive suit. "And I want to be part of your world. Amelia's world. This world right here." "Mr. Jiho makes you smile, Mommy?" Amelia said sleepily from Jessica's arms. "Like I do. That's good, right?" Jessica's resolve crumbled. "Baby, I love you," Jiho said simply. "Both of you. I know it's fast. I know it's complicated. But I've never been more sure of anything." Jessica's tears mixed with the rain. "I'm terrified. So am I." He smiled. "Let's be terrified together." But the universe had one more test. 2 weeks later, Jiho's mother flew in from Seoul. Mrs. Park was elegant, traditional, and immediately disapproving when Jiho told her about Jessica. A hospital receptionist? A single mother? Her voice was ice. "Jiho, think about our family's reputation." "I am thinking about family, Mother. The one I want to build." The dinner at Jiho's penthouse was tense. Mrs. Park was coldly polite, speaking mostly in Korean, her questions pointed. Jessica felt small in the opulent space, out of place among the expensive art and designer furniture. Then Amelia, bless her innocent heart, recognized Jiho's father from the hospital. Mr. Park. She climbed into his lap without hesitation. You're Jiho's daddy. My mommy helped you with the papers, remember? She was really nice to you. The elderly Mr. Park's face lit up. He spoke in Korean to his wife, gesturing animatedly. Jiho's mother's expression shifted, something softening in her eyes. What did he say? Jessica asked quietly. Jiho translated. He said you treated him with more dignity and respect than anyone had in years. That you saw him as a person, not a problem. He says that's the kind of woman who raises good children. Mr. Park continued speaking, his voice firm. Jiho's mother listened, her lips pressed thin. Finally, she turned to Jiho. Your father says I'm being foolish. That kindness matters more than status. She looked at Jessica, her gaze assessing but less cold. He's usually right about these things. It wasn't acceptance, not yet. But it was a door opening. Over the next month, Jessica pushed herself harder at work, determined to prove she didn't need help. She picked up extra shifts, brought work home, stayed up late. Jiho noticed her exhaustion, the way she was pulling away. Jessica, you're doing it again. You're running yourself down. I'm fine. You're not fine. Talk to me. What do you want me to say, Jiho? She spun to face him, frustration boiling over. That I'm scared? That every time you help us, I feel like I'm failing? That I'm terrified you'll wake up one day and realize we're too much work? Jessica, I've been on my own for 4 years. I've built this life, this home, everything for Amelia by myself. And then you show up and you're so perfect and so helpful and I don't know how to need someone. Her voice broke. I don't know how to let someone love me. Jiho crossed the room, pulling her into his arms. Then learn. Learn with me. You don't have to do this alone anymore. You were never supposed to. Jessica collapsed against his chest, years of exhaustion and fear finally breaking through. I'm so tired, Jiho. I know. He held her tighter. Let me help carry it. Please. That night, Amelia found them asleep on the couch, wrapped around each other, and smiled. She covered them with her favorite blanket and whispered, Mr. Jiho loves us, Mr. Hoppy. That's good. The breakthrough came the following week. Jessica got a promotion at the hospital to patient coordinator, better pay and regular hours. She was thrilled, but the new schedule conflicted with Amelia's daycare. For 2 days, she tried to figure it out alone. She made lists, called every service, stretched her budget until it snapped. On the 3rd day, she broke down and called Jiho. I can't do it, she admitted, her voice small. I can't make the schedule work. And I'm too proud to quit the promotion and too stubborn to ask for help, and I don't know what to do. You just did ask for help, Jiho said gently. And I'm already on my way. He arrived with a plan. He'd adjusted his work schedule, hired a part-time nanny who came with impeccable references, and offered to cover the cost difference until Jessica's raise kicked in. This isn't charity, he said when she tried to protest. This is what people who love each other do. They show up, they help, they build something together. Jessica looked at this man who'd changed her entire world with his kindness. I love you, she whispered. I'm sorry it took me so long to say it. Jiho's smile could have lit the entire city. I know. I've been waiting for you to catch up. 6 months later, everything had settled into a beautiful rhythm. Amelia called Jiho Appa, the Korean word for older brother she'd insisted on using. His parents visited monthly, his mother slowly warming to Jessica's genuine kindness. Jessica's promotion was going well, and she'd finally learned to accept help without feeling weak. They were having a picnic in the park, Amelia chasing butterflies, when Jiho pulled Jessica aside. I have something to ask you. He looked nervous, which was unusual for him. Okay. Amelia, Jiho called. Come here for a second, sweetheart. Amelia ran over, giggling. What, Appa? Remember that special thing we talked about? The surprise for Mommy? Amelia's eyes went wide. She reached into the picnic basket, fumbling around, and pulled out a small velvet box. Jessica's heart stopped. Jiho took the box, then knelt on one knee in the grass. Jessica, from the moment I heard Amelia's voice on that phone, you too became part of my story. You've taught me what real strength looks like, what love means when it's backed by action. I want to spend every day showing up for you both. I want to build a life together, a family together. He opened the box, revealing a simple, elegant ring. Will you marry me? Amelia bounced on her toes. Say yes, Mommy. Say yes. Jessica's tears were flowing, but she was laughing too. Yes, 1,000 times yes. Jiho stood, sliding the ring on her finger, then lifted Amelia onto his shoulders while pulling Jessica close. They stood there in the park, the three of them, no longer separate stories but one beautiful, complicated, perfect whole. You know what's funny? Jessica said, looking up at Jiho. If Amelia had dialed the right number that night, we never would have met like this. Jiho pressed a kiss to her forehead. Some wrong numbers are exactly right. Amelia giggled from her perch on his shoulders. I'm the best wrong number caller ever. And really, she was. 3 months later, they stood in front of their friends and family, two cultures blending into one ceremony. Mrs. Park helped Jessica into her hanbok, the traditional Korean wedding dress, while Monica fixed her makeup. Mr. Park walked her down the aisle alongside Jessica's father, who'd flown in from Atlanta. When Jiho saw Jessica, his breath caught, and when he lifted Amelia, who was their flower girl, and held both his girls close, he knew that one panicked phone call had given him everything he never knew he needed. Thank you for calling me that night, he whispered to Amelia during the reception. She beamed up at him. You're welcome, Daddy. It was the first time she'd called him that. Jiho had to step away, overwhelmed. Jessica found him on the balcony, overlooking the city lights. You okay? More than okay. He pulled her close. She called me Daddy. Is that all right? It's everything. He turned to face her. You're both everything. Below them, the city hummed with life, millions of stories intersecting, connecting, changing courses. And somewhere in those streets, another person was making a wrong call that would turn out to be exactly right. Because that's how the best love stories begin. Not with perfection, but with panic. Not with planning, but with presence. Not with the right number, but with the right heart answering the call. If this story touched your heart, please hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more incredible stories. Share this with someone who needs to hear that sometimes the wrong turn leads you exactly where you're meant to be. Drop a comment and tell us your thoughts. What would you have done in Jessica's situation? And remember, love shows up in the most unexpected ways. Until next time, keep believing in beautiful coincidences.